You've tried to get in shape before. Maybe it was the New Year's resolution that lasted 3 weeks. Maybe it was that diet that worked for a month before you gained it all back. Maybe it was the gym membership you used twice. Now you're thinking about trying again, but there's this voice in your head saying, why bother? You've failed before. You'll just fail again. Sound familiar? I'm Tyler, and I've got your raw daily fuel for today. Here's what's happening. You're treating your past failed attempts like they're a permanent record of who you are and what you're capable of. You're letting old versions of yourself write the script for your future. But here's what I need you to understand. Your history of failed attempts doesn't define your future capacity. Every time you say, I've tried this before and it didn't work, you're comparing today's you to a completely different person. Think about it. The person who failed last time, they knew less than you know now. They had different circumstances, different priorities, different levels of experience. That wasn't you failing. That was a previous version of you learning. Let me tell you something that might blow your mind. You're not the same person who failed before. You've grown and learned. Every failed diet taught you something about what doesn't work for your lifestyle. Every abandoned workout routine showed you what you actually hate doing. Every time you quit, you gathered data about your patterns, your triggers, your limitations. You're looking at those past attempts like they're evidence that you can't do it. But what if they're actually evidence that you were figuring it out? What if every failure was actually just research for this attempt? Here's the thing about patterns versus people. Past behavior predicts future behavior only if you don't change the pattern. If you do the exact same things with the same mindset in the same circumstances, yeah, you'll probably get the same results. But if you change the variables, you change the outcome. The problem isn't that you're destined to fail. The problem is that you keep trying to succeed with outdated information. You're using strategies that didn't work for who you were then and wondering why they won't work for who you are now. What's different this time? Maybe you've learned that extreme restrictions make you binge, so you're choosing moderation. Maybe you've realized that early morning workouts don't fit your schedule, so you're planning evening sessions. Maybe you figured out that doing it alone is harder, so you're finding accountability partners. Every past attempt gave you information. Every time you quit, you learned something about what pushes you to quit. Every time you lost motivation, you discovered what really motivates you. You've been doing research this whole time. You just didn't realize it. Your identity isn't fixed. It's not set in stone based on what you did or didn't do before. Your identity can shift in a moment. Decide who you're becoming today. Right now, in this moment, you can choose to be someone who finishes what they start. Someone who learns from past attempts instead of being defeated by them. Someone who sees failures as data, not destiny. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to be the person you are today. Yesterday's, you might have quit when things got hard. Today's, you can push through. Yesterday's, you might have made excuses. Today's, you can take responsibility. Yesterday's, you might have given up after one mistake. Today's, you can get back on track immediately. Stop carrying your past self's limitations into your present self's potential. You've evolved. You've grown, you've learned. You're not the same person who failed before. You're the person who learned from that failure. Here's your challenge. I want you to write down one thing that's different about this attempt compared to your past attempts. Maybe it's your mindset, maybe it's your approach, maybe it's your why, maybe it's your support system. Find one thing that proves you're not the same person who failed before. Because here's the truth. The only way your past predicts your future is if you let it. The only way old failures define new attempts is if you decide they do. The only way yesterday's version of you controls today's decisions is if you hand over that power. Your past doesn't get to vote on your future. Your previous attempts don't get to determine your current capacity. Your history of quitting doesn't get to write your story of succeeding. You are not who you were. You are who you choose to be today. And today you can choose to be someone who learns, adapts, and succeeds. That's your raw daily fuel for today. I'm Tyler. Your past failed, so your future could succeed. Time to prove it.